So there are still a ton of really amazing weapons in Cyberpunk 2077 that will absolutely wreck your enemies, and in this video we're gonna cover at least a few of these that you're definitely going to want to get your hands on, including a pistol that is capable of critting higher than most sniper rifles out there, an SMG that can absolutely penetrate almost any obstacle, then we're gonna have an assault rifle that can rain fire onto your enemies, another shotgun that can blast anything in its path, and finally a couple more, including of course one of the best sniper rifles in the game that has explosive bullets. So let's jump right into it, and as always, if you enjoyed this video at any point, also don't forget to leave a thumbs up on it. Let's begin with the Comrades Hammer, and definitely one of my favorite pistols right now in the game, and to be more specific, it's because you only need to shoot it once and almost anything will die and even explode into all kinds of pieces. So to find this, you're going to have to head over to Santo Domingo, and the point that you're going to look for is really close to the red dirt bar waypoint right here on this side of the map, and basically a little bit to the southeast of it where you see my car right now, and you're going to encounter a ton of enemies in this encampment right here. From this point on, you can go ahead and take down the leader, as he is the one that actually holds the recipe, and here is me actually collecting it from its dead body. Now make no mistake, this is going to be a craftable piece, so you will need to have a bit of investment in your crafting, especially for that epic quality perk right there that lets you to craft it in the first place. But it is absolutely worth it. This is by far one of the best pieces in the game. It deals an insane amount of damage to the point that you're kind of one-shotting pretty much anything, and because it has a high dismemberment chance, it also works really well with dismemberment perks that provide additional benefits, like maybe additional damage increase and so on and so forth. And also, let me tell you, it deals insane damage from afar as well, so you can also kind of snipe enemies from pretty far away. All in all, really amazing, so definitely go ahead and check it out. The next one is going to be a pretty awesome SMG named Buzzsaw, and actually it comes with high penetrating bullets that let you both penetrate enemies' armor and quite a number of obstacles. So in order to get this, you're going to head over to the north side of the map right here, really close to the waypoint. You're going to find another suspected organized crime activity. Once you're there, you're going to notice that there's a passage that leads underground, so go over there, clear out everything, and of course even more so the leader, that is the one that holds another recipe, which is going to be for the buzzsaw. Just like in the case of the previous one, you're going to want to craft this, but it only requires a rare crafting spec, so that's not a big issue. But what this does is it provides really high velocity projectiles that can also penetrate everything. So this includes both the enemy's armor as well as surfaces like obstacles and so on and so forth. So this is really amazing. If you don't care about cover and whatnot, you can just go in, spray this as much as possible, and you're going to more often than not hit the enemies behind them too. So really amazing one. The only thing I will add is the fact that since this is iconic, you can also later upgrade this all the way up to legendary quality, but you will need the perk investment for that. Moving on to number 3, let's talk about the Psalm 11 with 6 assault rifle that essentially rains fire onto your enemies. So in order to get this, you have to head over just a little bit north of the previous weapon through another suspected organized crime activity right here on this side of the map in the north side region again. So once you reach over there, just pay attention to the boss, because he's the one that actually holds the recipe for the gun. So go ahead, take him down, maybe even try to short circuit him, and you're going to be able to take the recipe from his dead cold body. But once you do that, you're going to be able to craft this amazing assault rifle that has a really high chance to set enemies on fire. That is of course assuming that they still survive your initial bullet impact. All around, it's a really precise assault rifle that deals really high damage. I really enjoy it, and even more so that dot effect with the burn is going to help you quite a bit, like especially if you're playing behind cover, if you don't want to get out, and if you want to leave the weapon to kind of do the work for you. All around, there's nothing much to say about it outside of the fact that you can also upgrade this to legendary quality, and the fact that it comes with a pretty awesome skin. Moving on to number 4, it's time to talk about a precision rifle that you likely missed if you did this mistake as I did during the mission called Ghost Town. So basically, in the mission called Ghost Town, as I've said previously, you can go ahead and help Panem to kind of take down a gang leader. Now unfortunately, after reviewing the footage that I've used, I kinda missed this one and didn't get the weapon from the body of that leader. In this case, the weapon is gonna be called the Widowmaker, which is a really amazing tech precision rifle. So make sure that if you are doing that mission, you also loot the body for this really amazing iconic rifle, because it comes with some really unique functionality. Well, first of all, it has a really decent chance to apply poison, so about a 32% chance over there. It also shoots additional rounds, and it also functions kind of like a very precise shotgun, as in you shoot a pellet of about 5-6 bullets in a really concentrated kind of way. So you can even use it from very far away, go against the enemies, you're not going to miss too many bullets. They're also pretty concentrated, which kind of makes this way better than most shotguns out there, if you can believe that. So overall, really amazing one, just make sure you don't miss it and whatnot. Moving on to number 5, since we are on the subject of shotguns, let's talk about a really crazy one called the Headsman. Now this is going to have a lot more spread than the previous one, but it applies bleed onto the target, and it does so in a very spectacular kind of way. So to get this shotgun, you need to head over into Westbrook, onto the most eastern part of it. Nonetheless, there's another crime activity happening over there. You're basically going to go into this kind of like facility that builds robots and so on and so forth, and what you will want to do is to actually head over all the way into the back of the facility in this hangar that also holds this robot kind of enemy, because he is the one that you will need to take down in order to get the recipe in the first place. So do that. He is pretty easy. Once you've done that, you can loot the body, and it is going to give you the recipe for the crafting spec, the Headsman, which is an all-around amazing shotgun. Now what's best about the shotgun is the fact that it has a really high impact, as in you're just going to annihilate anything and just throw it off its feet. And not just that, it also has a really high number of pellets, and as such a high chance to apply some really awesome bleed on hit. So this means that if you hit a target and have to reload, you don't really have to worry too much about that target, because chances are that it is going to bleed to death by the time you reload the Headsman. The only downside, so to speak, is the fact that it has a pretty high spread, so you kind of need to get close to the enemy if you want to hit it with all of your pellets. This brings us to our final gun on the list, and number 6, and that's gonna be this really awesome 05 sniper rifle that can absolutely shoot exploding rounds, to the point that you're going to make bodies explode as well. More on that in just a little bit, but to get this, you're going to get it through a side mission called Beat on the Brat in Arroyo. So if you already started that path, then you can simply head over under this highway, and you're going to notice a bunch of characters right here. You will also notice, if you didn't pay attention, that there is a sniper rifle on these 2 barrels that you can't interact with, at least not yet. And if you want to win this from the contest, you will need to go with the option that says nice rifle, though you will need about 6 points into the body stat in order to do that. And if you do that, then you're going to be able to raise your bet to 12,000, but you're also going to get the sniper rifle if you win the fight. Now as far as the fight itself, it is definitely one of the more difficult, which is why I recommend at least having a gorilla arm installed, so that you deal higher damage, not like how I did it in this case, where my attacks basically dealt 1% of its HP in damage. But otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. Just try to dodge as much as possible, break the enemy's guard as much as possible, and maybe charge up your fists and unleash them if the enemy charges in. And this is basically the entirety of the strat right here. Once you do that, you're gonna be able to defeat it quite easily if you know what you're doing, and if you do so, you're gonna be able to claim the rifle right after that, so make sure you also do that, and it's gonna give you one of the best sniper rifles currently in the game. Now I did play with this sniper rifle quite a bit, and I will say that it absolutely destroys enemies, because it has those explosive rounds. It also means you can dismember them really easily, like just shoot a body part and chances are that it's going to explode. It's definitely something you should check out, and again, it's only available if you make that bet. But anyway, this is it with all of the really awesome weapons in Cyberpunk 2077. Of course, there are still more left on the list, so maybe we are going to update the list in the near future. But thank you so much for watching. As always, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.